Good morning, Year 2. It is Tuesday the 2nd of March and it's time for Maths with Mrs Wood. So just make sure that we are all ready. Make sure we've got our green book for today, our Year 2 Maths book. And we are working today from page 19. Check we've got the correct page. You've got your whiteboard and pen down in front of you ready to join in and to start our warm-up. Okay. So yesterday we looked at ordering numbers. So for my warm-up today and get us in the maths mood nice and ready, I would like you to order numbers from smallest to largest on Mrs Wood's board. So pause the screen and on your whiteboard, I would like to order these numbers from the smallest to the largest, remembering that the tens number defines if it is greater or less. So look for those all-important tens numbers that make the two-digit number. Okay, how did you get on? Let's have a little look together. So, which number has got the smallest amount of tens? 13 only has one 10. We're going to move that to the start. So 13 should be the smallest number in your sequence. We should then have 25, as this number only has two tens. Then we should have 32, as this number has three tens. Then I've got 46 and 75 left. 46 is smaller than 75 because it has four tens to make 40, and my larger number is 75. So you should have 13, 25, 32, 46 and 75. Well done if you got that correct. And well done for any of those children that had a little go on our Chopper Squad game and our ordering game from yesterday. Okay, so today it says, can I solve word problems? So your page for your activity is all about solving number problems. So when we're looking at word problems, there's a few steps that we have to follow to help us to work out and solve the maths problem. So if we were in school, Mrs Wood has say, have your highlighters at the ready to read those all-important words and that important language. Okay, so Mrs Wood has got a word problem. And I want you to join in with me, Year 2, on your whiteboard. So let's read it together. Kim has 19 sweets and 6 chocolates. How many treats did she have altogether? So there are 3 important things there that we need to remember. So we need to know the numbers in the problem. So 19 sweets is important. 6 chocolates is important. And this word altogether is very important because that tells us which operation we're going to be using, if we're using addition or subtraction. Now, if we want to know how many altogether, that tells me that we're going to be adding. So the first step is to find that important information within a problem. So I've got 19 and 6, and I want to know how many that is altogether. So I know that altogether means I'm adding. So my number sentence then, my next step, is to write my number sentence. 19, add 6 more, equals. Okay, so I know that I'm using the addition operation. So I've highlighted my important information and put it into my number sentence. Now I've got my number sentence, my final step is to solve it and find the answer. So 19 add 6, I'm only counting on 6 more. So I could do this in my head. But if I'm not sure, I could draw 19 and 6 jumps along a number line like we practiced before. Okay, so if I start at 19, okay, and then I do 6 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then go back to fill in my jumps. And the number that I land on will give me my answer. We could also do that in our head. So 19 and 6 more is 25. So I now know that the answer to my problem is 25. Kim would have 25 treats altogether. Her 19 sweets and her 6 chocolates would total 25 altogether. Okay, so let's have a look at another problem and see if we can remember the steps. So Sam had 11 cakes. He gave 5 to his friends. How many did he have left? So I've got a word problem again here, and now I need to pull out the important information. So if Sam had 11 cakes, that's really important. That's how many cakes he started with, 11. He gave 5 away, so 5 is really important. Okay. How many did he have left? So if I want to know how many he had left after he gave 5 away, so he gave 5 away, we want to know how many he had left. That tells me that I'm subtracting because he's taken some away, he's left them, he gave them away. So my number sentence now, my next step is going to be my number sentence. So he had 11 and he took 5 away because he gave them away to his friends, and now I need to answer my problem. Okay, so have a go at solving 11 subtract 5. We can do that in our head by putting 11 in our head and counting back 5, or we could also have a go at drawing that on a number line if we find counting back a little bit tricky. We're going to start at 11. Okay, I'm going to jump back 5 because he gave 5 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to count backwards now. So 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. That means he had 6 left. You could also try drawing 11 cakes and crossing 5 out if you don't want to do a number line, or you find it tricky to count back in your head. So there are lots of options. We can solve it in our head, we can do it pictorially by drawing it, or have a go at using the number line. Okay, so 3 important steps were: read the problem, highlight the important information, the numbers, and think about if the problem's asking me to add, take away, or maybe even multiply or divide. Let's move on to a harder problem now. So this time, Jenny had 47 lollipops. So I've remembered that I need to highlight my important information. So 47 lollipops. She gave 40 away. So I know already, I've worked out that I'm going to be taking away because she gave something away, she's taken them away. How many are left? So I've highlighted my important information. I know that we're taking away because she gave away. So I'll write my number sentence next. 47 subtract 40. Oh my goodness. That's really quite tricky. I don't want to count 40 steps back. I don't want to cross out 40. So we're going to have a look at partitioning this time. So let's have a look at what 47 is made of. Well, I've got 47 lollipops. I've got 4 10s and 7 1s. Okay, now 47 is made of 40 and 7. Now, what if I take that 40 away? What am I just going to be left with? So if I've got 47, but I take the 40 away, I'm just going to be left with what? So I've got 47, so we're going to pull the number apart, partition it, and then that will help us to solve my number sentence. So 47, but I'm taking the 40 away. What am I going to be just left with? Tell you grown up, I'm just going to be left with the 7. So 47, take away the 40, it's just going to leave me with 7. So I've used partitioning to help me. And in your book, you've got those really helpful pages that also show you and help you with your partitioning. So I've partitioned 47, pulled it apart. It's asked me to subtract 40, so I've taken the 40 away, and it's just left me with the 1s and the 7. Let's have a look at another one. So this time, Tom had 23 toy cars. And I've remembered that my numbers are really important. His brother gave him 10 more. How many does he have now? So he started off with 23, and then he was given 10 more. So more tells me that I'm going to be adding. So when I write my number sentence, I'm going to be using the addition operation. So 23 and 10 more. Now we're looking at 10 more and 10 less in our warm-up yesterday. We're going to have a go using partitioning like it does in our activity booklet. So let's have a look at what 23 is made of. So 23 is made of 20 and a 3. So I'm going to add 10 more to my 10 first of all. I've got 20. 23 is made of 20 and 3. I'm going to add 10 more. So what's 20? Add 10 more. 20 and 10. 30. Okay. So I've now got 30. I'm going to add that 30 to the 3. 30. I've got 30 now. I've added my 10s together. Okay. But I'm not adding any 1s on. So my 3 is going to stay the same. I'm going to add 30 to my 3. And 30 and 3 is 33. So I've partitioned my number. I've added my 10s together first. Didn't need to add any 1s together because 10 hasn't got any 1s. So I was adding 10 more to 23, 23, 33. You might be able to work that out if we're adding 10 without partitioning. So we added the 10s first. The 20 and the 10 gave us 30. And then the 3 and the 0 still gave us 3. So I added the 30 to the 3 to give us 33. Okay, this time then, Mrs. Wood and cakes. Mrs. Wood has 13 cakes. That's my first step when I see a problem. I need to circle my important numbers. So 13. Mrs. McNulty has 12 cakes. Mrs. McNulty's got less than Mrs. Wood. 12 cakes. How many did she have altogether? So we want to know how many we both had all together. So all together is that really important word here. If we want to find out how much we've got in total all together, then we know that we're adding. So 13 add 12 is going to be my number sentence. Now I don't know about you, but I haven't got 12 fingers to count on. So we're going to have to think carefully about how we're going to solve this. So 13 add 12. So we're going to break 10, 13 and 12 up first and partition them. So 13 add 12. Okay, so 13 is made of 1 10 and 12 is made of 1 10. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my 10s together first. So I've got 1 10 and 1 10. Okay, so I'm going to add my 10s together first. So if we look at my number sentence, I'm going to add my 10s together first. 10 and 10 is 20. Now I'm going to look at adding my 1s together next. So let's have a look at Mrs. Wood's 1s. I've got 3 1s and 2 1s. I'm going to add those together next. 3 and 2. Tell Mrs. Wood what 3 and 2 is. 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I've got 20 and 5. So what does 20 and 5 make? I've added the 10s together first, then the 1s. So I had 10 and 10, 20, 3 and 2, 5. So my answer is going to be 25. So we could do it this way by partitioning, but we could also use it and solve it using the column method. So we could also do 13 add 12. Okay, so you might remember doing the column method in our previous home learning pack. Remember, always starting with the 1s. So 3 and 2 makes 5. 10 and 10 makes 20. Remember, we can't write the 0. So 25. So you can choose how you solve that. You can partition it, adding your 10s first in your 1s, or adding 10s and 1s in the column method, still adding your 1s first. So it's up to you how you solve them. Okay, so that should help you with today's problems. Now, there are only 3 problems on there. Okay, so the first one is asking you about Omar's cars. So, and it even gives you the addition symbol, so you know you're adding there. And the next one is subtraction. It gives you the subtraction sign, so you haven't got to work that out. Okay, so it's only giving you 3 word problems. So what I would like to do as your challenge is I would like you to add and solve these 4 number sentences for me. 15 and 13, 24 and 12, 37 and 21, and 45 and 33. And you can do that by partitioning. So adding your 10s first and then your 1s, or you can solve it using the column method. So 15, add 13, starting with the 1s, column first, and then adding the 10s. But remembering these aren't 1s, these are 10s. Okay, year 2. So this shouldn't take too long today. So I'd love to see photographs of your challenge. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.